Good morning, all you beautiful people from Trinity Memorial United Church and those who may be tuning in from elsewhere. My name is Lesley Fairley, and I am a student with Trinity in completing a field placement. This morning, I was asked to give a short reflection on the lectionary reading for Sunday morning, the 23rd Psalm. And it's a psalm that is probably most familiar to us all in terms of all of the psalms that are there. This is a psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters, and he restores my soul. He leads me in the right paths for his name's sake. And even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear no evil. For you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, and my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord my whole life long. In its verse 4 that I wanted to focus on first today, even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. There is no question this is a dark time for us. All of us that are physically isolating from each other to protect our loved ones and those who live around us. It's a challenge to have our activities curtailed and our gathering socially squeezed into little boxes on Zoom. And there's no question that we are struggling to do so. We are social creatures by nature. Even those of us who are introverts are finding it a little bit of a challenge. And yet, I think about that next part of that verse. I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. The amazing thing about darkness is that it doesn't have to be that scary place. We remember from the creation story that God created light and dark as a way for us to differentiate and tell time. And so it isn't necessarily that this is a dark and evil time. Yes, it's challenging. And for some, it's scarier than others. And for those of us who are dealing with the death of a loved one, whether it be from the virus or from other circumstances and serious illness. It's tough that we are living in a time of economic insecurity and uncertainty. We don't know how much longer this is going to last. But I can't help but think that we have been given a time to reflect, a time to slow down and experience the sacred in those tiny little moments that normally we let pass by in our rush to get the next thing done. We live in such a busy life and world that I'm beginning to think that maybe this was time to just slow down. So for me, I'm reflecting. I'm spending some time catching up on some reading, as well as connecting in other ways with family and loved ones. It's tough with that I'm not able to help in caring for my dad or my aunt. These are challenging times, there's no question. But as the Prime Minister and the CDC and Dr. Bonnie Henry and all of us are being reminded, we're not walking this alone. We're in it together. And I wonder how many of us recognized that we are to let the light of God shine through for all. Jesus reminds us that we are the hands and feet of Christ and that it is up to us to reach out to those around us. And it's time for us to really get to know one another on a different level. An opportunity to really reach out and really listen for the things that folks are going through and struggling with. We have an opportunity to get to know each other, even the people that we live with, on a different level. And part of me is seeing that as an incredible gift. So dark and evil, not necessarily. Dark, yes. Evil, maybe not. It's that opportunity that I think about, that tiny little seed that's planted deep in my garden in the darkness. And it hunkers down and gathers all of the nutrients and spreads its roots so that when the time comes, it grows and up and reaches out through the soil and can bear fruit or vegetable or grow and provide shelter and a home for those tiny little birds that sing so sweetly for me in the morning. It's up to us to be the hands and feet of God. The God that sang in a stable and a God that cried from a hill walks with us each and every moment of each and every day, whether we are physically isolated or not. When life is uncertain, the only thing that we might have is each other. Share your struggles, but share the joys and the little sacred moments that you find each and every day. Because we do not walk this path alone. God is with us. Thanks be to God. Amen and amen. Blessings on your day.